Hi guys, my name is Abhishek. I'm a proud E2O owner. I've done around 5,000 kilometers in this car and I really love it. And the reason I'm making this video today is because I've got a lot of comments from people telling me that this car doesn't really work as a city car. It has a limited range, 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers depending on your model. And yes, I agree that the range is limited. 200 kilometers at minimum is what you need these days. But this is all we have, and I want to show that 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers is not bad for even for a big city like Bombay. And to prove that, I'm going to be driving this car from North Bombay to South Bombay and back, doing a full 100 kilometers. And hopefully that will convince more people that this car does work as a city car. You can take it long distances without having to worry about range. Okay, so I'm ready to set off. It's around 8:30 AM in Kandivali and I'm heading towards Churchgate now. We are passing Oberoi Mall right now. We've already crossed Goregaon. There's a healthy amount of traffic, and but not too much. So hopefully we'll be at Churchgate before long. We're passing a petrol pump now, and I can't tell you how nice it feels not to have to worry about filling petrol. That Scorpio ahead just blew past us, and I mean, the less said about diesel SUVs the better. You get speed, but at what cost to the environment and everything? I just really hate SUVs. So we're just passing the airport. We passed the famous statue of Shivaji, and now we are en route to Bandra. State of charge is 87%, 102 kilometers still left. We are on the Santa Cruz flyover, I think, approaching Bandra, and we are going downhill now. Downhill, you need to use regen as much as possible. I almost never keep my foot on the accelerator when I'm downhill. I try to get as much battery power back as possible thanks to regen. And going up a hill consumes quite a bit of energy, up a slope. So any bit that you can get back while going down is great. And one more thing, when you're climbing a slope, the only way to conserve energy is to slow down. And it obviously it's an inconvenience, but it's a good practice to slow down. But remember to stay in the middle lane if you're doing it. Don't inconvenience fast drivers on the right lane.
How many journeys have you done with E2 till now?
How many journeys? How many road trips? You mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't exactly counted, but I've done quite a few. The very first one I took was when I went to Panvel on Holi, just to get away from the madness on that day, and that was quite an adventure. I think we got there, we had only 50 km, and we managed to get back somehow thanks to this kind gentleman who allowed us to, he was a restaurant owner, and he allowed us to use his restaurant to charge. The trip was the one where I went to Lavasa, all the way from here. It took a long time, but it was a great trip. It was so adventurous. So met a lot of new people, answered a lot of questions about the car. It's a lot of fun. I do plan to do another Lavasa road trip video soon, maybe next month, because the monsoons have started and it's a great time to go to Lonavala, Khandala, Lavasa, all these places. So yeah, I might do another video. The next road trip that I did was when I went to Palghar, and that was another insane road trip. I was with my cousin, and we went, and we were really going on good faith, because we went, we charged at Vasai. Vasai is the last charge point when you head towards North Bombay, and we charged there for a bit. The power went out, so we weren't able to charge the car fully, and we somehow were able to make it to Palghar And once we reached there, I realized that we didn't need to charge at Vasai. So anyone who wants to go to Palghar, take note. You can go directly to Palghar from Kandivali. You needn't charge the car in the middle. I mean, it is good to charge it to be safe, and the Vasai people are very helpful. Remember to go to Nicholas compound. It's on Sativali road. You will easily find it. Just charge your car there if needed. Get a little top up and then carry on. Palghar, you're going to have to make your own charging arrangements. It's not easy to find a charge point. What we did was that my cousin has a flat there in Palghar, and he was able to get permission to extend a line from his flat all the way down. It was insane because he lived on the 4th floor and we didn't have an extension cord. We forgot to buy one, and the society head, whoever he is, he gave us permission to use his extension cord, the extension cord that was used by the construction workers in the building. And it was a very long extension cord, and we stretched it all the way from his flat on the 4th floor all the way down to the ground floor. I had to back my car up really close to the building. Somehow we managed it, and I managed to charge it, and it was quite insane. And it is a bit of a risk going to an unknown place and not being able to find charge. But I can't deny that it's a real adventure. You will absolutely love it because you will have so many weird experiences. You will meet helpful people, curious people who will just help you because they don't know much about this electric technology. They want to know more, and that will just make them curious and want to help. We've just crossed Dadar, I think, and we have 76% SOC, 89 kilometers of range, and let's see how much we have when we reach Churchgate. Not far now, and the traffic condition is not as bad as I was anticipating, so hopefully we should reach Churchgate very soon. I wanted to talk a bit about charging stations. For people who don't know, I'm saying we, but it's really all the people at Plug in India. I can't take any credit. They've set up charging stations all over Bombay, all over Pune. These charging stations comprise people's residences and Mahindra showrooms, and anyone can use them. Some of them are free, some of them are not, but it makes sense to avail of them, especially when you need a quick top up when you're doing your runabout in the city. And you can also use them to travel between Bombay and Pune. So that's one thing I want to emphasize, that Bombay and Pune is possible in this car. You need to charge the car twice. Once at G3 Motors in New Bombay, and again at Khandala. A community charging station has been set up at Khandala. Mr. Alauddin runs it. Very nice people. You need to pay to use the charger, but that's fine. And it will take you a little more time to reach Pune than you would in a petrol car, obviously, because of the time it will take to charge. But I think that's fine. In lieu of the time that is being wasted, you will save a lot of money on petrol, and so that's a big advantage. So if you end up losing 2 hours, then I think that's fine. Leave early if you have to. There's also an app that people can use. It's called the Recharge India app. It's a great app. That app shows everyone, all the people who registered themselves as has registered their residences as charge points, and it also shows all the Mahindra galleries that are registered themselves as charge points. The app was made for the community. I don't think anyone profited from it. So it's a big deal that someone actually went to all that effort, that people actually registered themselves, and that the people who made the app actually put in all that effort. And it just goes to show the goodwill of the EV community, of the kind of people that are in this community. They're all very forward thinking, very intelligent, and they want to do, if the government doesn't do it and if Mahindra doesn't do it, then at least they want to do all they can. The private owners, they want to do all they can to promote EV use in India, and I really think that their work should be acknowledged. The Churchgate, as you can see from the architecture, it never ceases to amaze me, and it's just awe-inspiring, the Gothic architecture, and it's just beautiful. We are reaching the Queen's Necklace. We'll reach there in 5 minutes, and we are going to stop there, take a breather, maybe take some pics of Marine Drive, get some chai. The SOC is 69%. We have 80 km, and I think by the time we reach the Queen's Necklace, we should have around 75 km, but let's see. Okay, so we're at Marine Drive. We stayed here for a while, took some pics, enjoyed the view. It took us about an hour to reach here, an hour and 15 minutes I think, which is great. SOC is 67%, and we have 77 kilometers of range left, which is great. The AC was on the entire way, and we should have reached with 80 km range, and that means we lost just 3 kilometers, which is fantastic in my opinion. And now we'll be heading back, but not the route we came. We'll be doing a full circle. We'll be taking the Eastern Express Highway, so we'll be going via Thana and Ghodbunder Road. Thana is some 40 kilometers from here, so by the time we reach Thana, we should have around 35 kilometers, and then we have another, I think, 30 kilometers on Ghodbunder Road to get to Alika, Kandivali, and it should be, that's cutting it a bit close, I know, because we'll be reaching with only about 5 kilometers or so, maybe less, but I'm not worried because we have regen, and I'd prefer not to use it really. I want to do this entirely with the range that I started with, the full 120 kilometers. But let's see what happens. Okay, we're on the Eastern Freeway, and well, for 13 kilometers we are going to just be on this now, and this, I was really looking forward to this part because it's going to be 13 kilometers of traffic-free driving, and it's also going to be a chance for me to show off the speed of the E2O, because many people complain that the E2O is severely underpowered, that it doesn't go very fast, and yeah, I agree, it doesn't go as fast as a normal car, as an ICE car. It can't do 100, 120, but let's face it, you don't need those speeds in the city anyway, and the E2O can easily do up to 88 km, which is more than enough for the highway, I think. And right now I'm doing 70, and I can stretch it to 85 if I feel like it, but I'm enjoying this relaxing drive, and this speed is enough for me. So I think it should be enough for most people. So I don't think speed and power is going to be such a big problem on the E2O, and especially when you're, say if you're going to Pune and you're worried that this car might not be able to handle highway speeds, don't worry, it can. You won't be able to go as fast as the other cars. Many cars will easily outstrip you, especially on the famous Bombay-Pune highway stretch. where cars start doing 120, 140. But it's no big deal. You can still do pretty decently at 80 and cruise at that speed.
Started, guys. We are going in a tunnel.
We are in still on the Eastern Freeway, and we're in the tunnel heading towards Thana. I've never been in this tunnel before, and I'm just loving it. Just loving it.
The fact is, the people who are gonna go for electric cars altogether, just they want to save a big load of money paying on the petrol or diesel. That's the bottom line. And the second thing, that you know that you're doing good to the environment, is like your conscience could be clear. There's one thing that the government could do actually. We just crossed a toll naka altogether and we had to pay the toll like all other cars are paying. So the government could have this initiative where all the electric vehicles could go just free, because basically it's not polluting the air or anything, and that's it. Like in abroad, I feel they have such system, right, Abhishek? Like they don't pay tolls in abroad, like in the electric vehicles.
Like if you ask me, it's ridiculous that I have to pay a toll to get around in my own city. Abroad, you have, like in London, for example, you have a congestion charge.
You know, being sitting in this car, I've seen people driving past by this car and looking at this car again and again. I'm sure this car is like, people just turn their heads when you just pass by, and that never happens. And I'm saying never happens with any ordinary hatchback car that ever passes by. So I recommend this car is to be, like you need to really buy it. Obviously you need someone like Abhishek or someone who's actually into more of electric vehicles to give you that kind of knowledge, like how it goes and how it operates and all together. Because I feel that people in India, to be specific, are not well informed about the electric vehicles out there. Alright, people are just looking at the power and the cost saving. So in short, cost saving, if that's what people want, I feel Mahindra E2 is the best option out there. How much electricity bill per month, like if you charge it, how much is gonna cost you?
So it it takes 10 units to charge the car fully.
Okay.
And a single unit, the cost of a single unit, depending on where you are, is between 4 rupees and 8 rupees, I think. And also depending on your service provider, your electricity provider. So mine is 5 rupees. So that means for a full charge it costs me 50 rupees. And if I'm to charge the car every day, which is not something that everyone does, and I use the car pretty heavily, which is why I charge it every day. So if I'm to charge it every day, it will cost me 1500 rupees a month. 1500 rupees to do 120 kilometers every day. So that's pretty good. That's really good. I haven't done formal calculations yet, but if you do the same in a CNG car, in a petrol car or a diesel car, easily your costs are going to come up to 6,000, 7,000 in a petrol car, 5,000 in a diesel car. CNG probably 3,000 or 3,000, 4,000. So just imagine, the cost savings are huge. You could save 2,000 rupees at least a month, put that in an RD, and say you use this car for 8 years or 10 years, the amount of money that you save will be huge by that time. Even if you end up having to pay for a new battery. And another good thing, no servicing required, which is amazing. Once a month you need to check the tire pressure, fill the wheels with air, and once a year you need to change the brake fluid. But that's it, really. No other servicing is required. Because it's an electric car, it has very few moving parts, and those parts tend to last for a very, very long time. So this is no problem. Servicing is just not a problem. You can relax and not worry about that at all. Okay, so we are on Ghodbunder Road, very close to Daisar, SOC is 19%. We have 21 kilometers range, and the cool part is that because of regen, we got quite a lot of range back. The margin was just 2 km earlier while we were still in Thane, and the amazing thing is, so we climbed a huge hill, and then we started going down, and because of that we gained a lot back, and the margin has actually reduced to 6 km, and we actually got 4 km back thanks to regen, which is really cool. And we are reaching Daisar now. Okay, so even this trip, like, we're going to be doing a full 120 kilometers. I think in a petrol car that would probably cost maybe 300-400 rupees probably. And how much have we spent?
50
rupees. 50 rupees.
1/6.
Yeah, and I think 35 rupees for the toll.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Like less than $100.
That 35 is also you're gonna pay in the petrol car. So like,
Yeah.
let's just factor it out.
So which other car offers you that freedom? Just tell me. You know, I mean, it's a great car. It's a really perfect car for a family of 2 or 3 to use. It's a perfect car for individuals to use. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in love with it, and I just cannot bear to hear a word spoken against it. So I've reached home now, and it took 3 hours. We left at 8:30, reached here by 11:30. SOC was 3%, range was 3 kilometers, but we lost 4 kilometers because of that wrong turn we took in Thane. So we should have reached with 7 kilometers. I think we could have reached by 10 kilometers if it hadn't been for the Daisar Cheknaka traffic. So we could have had AC on all the way without any problems, and still reached home with 10 km left. Now the point of this whole thing, of this whole trip, was to show that the E2O can actually travel that far. The company claims that it can go 120 kilometers, 100 kilometers, and yes, it can go that far. This was an extreme case, obviously. I only did it to show everyone that the car is not just a how do you say, not something that you can only take for grocery shopping or whatever. You can take it far. You can take it to Bandra, to Churchgate, and you can come back and still have plenty of charge left. So all in all, I mean, in addition to all the points that we've been discussing about regen and how much money the car saves you, there's really no reason for people not to buy this car or buy, say, an ICE car in its place. Yes, you won't be able to travel very far, but if you live in Bombay, you'll be able to make it as far as Pune, Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani, Ahmednagar, all these places. We have the Recharge app so that you can find the quick charge points in all these places. So I don't know, what more do you need? Anyway, I hope people find this video helpful, and I hope that maybe there's 1 or 2 people out there at least who are convinced to buy an E2O after watching this video. Thanks a lot, and hopefully see you again soon.